Dun, 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 dun. TWA2K Sports. Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is TWA2K Sports section. Let's get into it. Okay, so since the last time we had TWA2K Sports, there have been some championships that have been won, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge them. So let's do that right now. We had the Tampa Bay Lightning winning their second Stanley Cup in a row and defeating the Montreal Canadiens. And, good for them. Tampa Bay, they overcame getting waxed, as the first seed against the 8th seed in the playoffs a couple years ago, and have won a couple Stanley Cups since. Good. Congratulations. And shows proof that Steve Yzerman's really quite the GM. He has assembled quite the team there in Tampa, and good for them. Maybe hockey isn't as random as you think sometimes. Well, I mean, when you got a really good team that's really well balanced and firing on all cylinders, like growing up in Windsor area, I was a big fan of the Red Wings, and they're a very complete team. And when you have a very complete team that's firing on all cylinders, and you're getting great goaltending, that is a recipe for a lot of Stanley Cups. And it's hard to replicate. And so Tampa seems to have that, where they have where they have kind of everything figured out right now, and they got a really great situation. But when you rely on so many individual pieces, it can go up in smoke pretty fast. So we'll see what happens. Hockey is a very fickle sport. For me, I think like the best way to produce a team that is capable of winning the Stanley Cup is to have a team, is to reduce mistakes, like unforced errors, if you would call it, in the tennis world, is like the less unforced errors you make, like turning the puck over, this and that, because any goals are highly random. Shooting the puck at a net where the goalie is like, covering like 2/3 of it with his padding, is a little subject to randomness. So the way you counter those random variables is by making the least mistakes possible, is by not making unforced errors. And I notice that a lot with teams that get beaten, like with now that I'm in Toronto, big on watching Toronto sports, and that's kind of the Leafs Achilles heel, is that every now and then they'll have like a horrific turnover, or and you can point to this every point in the game. Oh, they had this awful giveaway, and that scored the tying goal, and then they fell off after that. So I think hockey, if you want to create a great hockey team, you need to have a team that reduces those unforced errors, and because you could be out shooting the other team 10-1, but that one giveaway was a back-breaking one, and their goalie cut off all the right angles, and all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball, and it's a lot different of a hockey game than you thought it would be. So shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning and Steve Yzerman and Steve Stamkos, and that's quite the team that they've got over there.